Let's cork one end of our cylinder. To do that, we'll need an end cap. Recall that there are several end cap styles. We could use a bolted-on, threaded-on, or welded-on end cap. For simplicity's sake today, we will use a welded-on end cap. Welding is the process of fusing two pieces of metal into one continuous piece. Welds can actually be stronger than the surrounding material if properly done.
Okay, now we're going to make the end cap for our hydraulic cylinder. This is on a new sketch, a part, and we're going to start on the front plane. And we're going to open up a sketch, and we're going to grab a circle, and from the origin we want to smart dimension a circle to 3 inches. This was the outside diameter of our cylinder. And we want to square off the top of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a line, and if you pick on one of the quadrants, you can get your dashed line going through there, and we're going to line it up with the other quadrant on this side of the circle. And from this corner we're going to draw a line down to that quadrant, escape, we'll grab another line, we'll draw this line from that endpoint to this quadrant. Now we have a squared off top to this end cap. Now we need to trim out the circle, these lines here. So we're going to grab trim, and if we use power trim, you click and drag the pointer through the line that we want to disappear, and we're going to remove both of those lines. Now we're going to go to features, and we're going to do an extruded boss base, and we want to extrude this out 1 inch, and we're going to accept that sketch. Now we're going to add a little cylinder that would go inside our hydraulic cylinder. So on the front plane we're going to open up another sketch, and if you come up here to view orientation, we can view the back of this, and we're going to grab a circle on the origin, and we're going to smart dimension this circle to be just smaller than the inside diameter of our hydraulic cylinder, because we need room for it to fit. So we'll go 2.73, and we're going to go to features, and we're going to extrude this little circle a 1/2 inch. Now it wants to extrude it into our end cap, so what we want to do here is these two arrows are reverse direction, and we can reverse the direction of that extrude and extrude it out the other way. We're going to accept that. Now we have the start of our cap, and now we want to put a porthole for pushing in the hydraulic fluid. So now we're going to start another sketch, and we want to make this sketch on this face, on the top of our cap. If you come up to view orientation, we're going to go normal 2. We're going to grab a circle, and we're going to smart dimension this circle to 1/2 inch. Oops. No, that's not the dimension we wanted, so double click it, 0.5, 1/2 inch. And then we're going to go to features, and we want to do an extruded cut now. Now we want this to go at least halfway down, so if our cap's 3 inches tall, we want to extend that to at least 1.5 inches, but we're going to go a little bit farther to 1.7, and we're going to accept that extruded cut. And that put a hole in the top of our cap, We're going to go to View Orientation. We're going to view the back. So we want to make another extruded cut right through the center of this circle. So we'll go to Sketch. We'll click on this face because that's where we want to make our sketch. And we're going to grab Circle. And we'll make another circle on the origin. And we're going to Smart Dimension it to 0.2. And we're going to go to Features and do another extruded cut. Now on this one, if we don't know how far we want this cut really, so instead of doing blind, we're going to come down and go to Up to Surface. And now it's going to ask us in this box for the face or plane that we want to extrude cut to. And we want it to come up to this wall of the hole we just cut into the top of the cap. And we're going to accept that cut. Now if you see in there, we got a hole that goes through the front of that up to that surface in here. And now we want to draw a way to connect this to something useful. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to the right plane that goes down the middle of our cap, and we're going to open up a sketch. We'll normal to, and we're going to make a donut. So if you come over in line with the origin, we'll get the dashed line, and we're going to draw one circle and go to the middle, and we're going to draw another circle around the outside of that. That goes into our cap a little bit. Now we want to remove this line that would extrude into our cap because we don't want it to run into our hole. So we're going to go to Convert Entities, and what Convert Entities allows you to do is pick a line on any object and convert it to a line on the sketch that you're working on. So we're going to grab that line, and when we accept it, it's going to give us a line on our sketch that matches this outside line. And we want to trim away the outside of this. So we're going to go to Trim, and we're going to power trim that side, and we want to remove this part of the circle. So we're going to power trim that, and we're going to accept it. Then we're going to go to Features, and we're going to do another Extruded Boss Base. Now this is going to want to extrude it in one direction. That's not what we want. So if we go to View Orientation, and view the front of this, we want to, instead of doing blind, do a mid-plane. This is going to extrude it in both directions. And we'll make this an inch, and we'll accept the sketch. And now we put an eyelet on the end of that cap so that we can attach it to anything that we would attach this hydraulic cylinder to. And we're going to save this part as our hydraulic cylinder end cap.